Hey guys, welcome back on my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the evolution of my favorites. So that was a suggestion by one of my viewers, Willow. In one of my recent videos, they commented that it would be good to see what are my current favorites and how they have evolved. And I thought that was quite an interesting topic because I didn't film a favorite in ages. I don't know when was the last time I filmed the favorites. But the concept of how they have evolved is actually quite interesting because I did have quite a specific way of going about things. I'm sat on my duvet and it's raining right now, although we're in August. And we've had big days of a massive heat wave where it was 36 degrees Celsius in London. And we were dying here with heat. And I decided to wash my duvet. And it stinks. It's been 4 days, it still stinks. So I'm just airing it on my bed and I have to endure the smell because I know that it's not bacteria or anything like that, but it just needs to air out for a few more days, and that's why I have it on and why it's weird to have a duvet although we're in August, but just wanted to let you know. So I thought for this favorite I will actually go around the house and I will show you things and at the same time tell you how they evolved. So first thing we have here is my makeup section, which is quite messy. You would remember in my previous video that I published this Wednesday that I had that massive makeup clear out, and that was the first time essentially that I did such a clear out. Even before, even every time that I moved countries, I just selected a few things and moved on. So that was the first time that I actually looked at what I had, and it was quite interesting to see that a lot of the stuff that I have kept is the more recent purchases. And that is definitely a theme that I have seen in my favorites over the time, and also generally in what I buy. I noticed that my taste has become a bit more selective, so at times a bit more expensive, but I have zero regrets on things that I buy, and I make much more snappier buying decisions, and I buy not in bulk. So when I was in Morocco, I would try to get as many things as I wanted to, as I could get actually, because I used to follow primarily American YouTubers, and a lot of the things that they had on their channels would be these mall brands. A lot of the stuff would be very sweet, like they would have all these candles from Bath & Body Works, they would have a massive MAC collection, they would have an entire collection of lipsticks that come up from Revlon and things like that. And there was a time where, because I lived in Morocco, I didn't have foreign currency and things like that, or I didn't have access to a lot of the brands. Every time I would get a chance to just go, I would pile up on these things. I remember buying like tens of EOS lip balm, almost every Revlon lip butter that you could imagine and things like that, and it was almost a sort of panic buying because I knew I wouldn't have access to these things back home, and I kept that for quite a few years. Then I think right now my taste has evolved in a way that I am a lot more selective about what I get. I don't hoard, like I get backups of things that I absolutely love, and also I no longer have that sense of urgency for getting things. So if we look at my makeup collection, I have these things from Too Faced that I got maybe a couple of years after they were actually launched, and I really like them, but it took me forever to buy them. Same thing with Fenty Beauty. I waited until all the hype was over, like a couple of years later, and then I got them. Bobbi Brown is a brand that I always loved, but I never bought because I always thought of it as an older woman's brand, and I have recently started liking it, so maybe I am becoming that older woman. For everything else, I think that although I may on the face of it pay a bit more, I don't regret any of my purchases. I love my Fenty stuff. For my MAC products, I no longer go and buy 4 lipsticks at a time. Matter of fact, I don't remember the last time I went and I bought something at MAC. I now just finish some of my MAC products, and then whenever I finish 6, I go and I get a lipstick. Typically it's MAC Marrakesh. But that is it for my makeup. I no longer try to get something just because it's a new release or because somebody or every other blogger was paid to talk about it. I really take my time to think about stuff, and then when I really feel that I can't stop thinking about it for a few months, then I would just buy that. The other thing is, I think I am more binary in the way I do things. So, for example, today I decided to not really wear. It's been weeks that I haven't worn foundation, and today is no exception. But I decided that I will wear just a little bit of corrector. So I'm just wearing my Bobbi Brown. This is something I really like. So for Bobbi Brown, I have backups. I recently just bought additional backups of this because I need to have it at all time. My color is deep peach. I really love this, and it's something that I will continue repurchasing, and I think I will. Let me put you here for a second. See, it is almost gone, but I have a backup ready for it, and this is something that I will continue having in my collection. I bought the first one from Germany years ago, and I continue to buy it, so this is really one of those ride or die kind of products for me. When it comes to perfume, I've never been a very big perfume person, but I noticed that my favorites tend to be very aromatic. I don't like sweet scents, and that's something you will notice in a lot of my favorites going forward. So a lot of the perfumes that I have will be aromatic. So I have, the only perfume I recently got was actually a sample, and this was from Copenhagen 2 years ago, a bit over 2 years ago, and it's Istanbul. It's the same candles that I had finished. This is very spicy. It's meant to remind you of a Turkish bazaar. But something like this Tory Birch, I wouldn't buy. I got it as a sample, but I wouldn't buy it myself. So if it's sweet, if it's too girly or something like that, I wouldn't get it. Which means that things like Fenty Beauty barely pass the test, because they are cute, but it's not necessarily something within my aesthetic. My aesthetic is really more black things like that. So Bobbi Brown aesthetic and MAC. If I could have an entire collection just of that, I would actually be happy about it. And when you look at it, it's definitely getting there. Little by little, it's getting there. I don't mind making the exception for something as gorgeous as Lisa Eldridge, because I support her as an artist and as a content maker. But that is that. Then when it comes to clothing, you guys by now already know that I am a big fan of Cézanne. They never sponsored me, they don't know I exist, but 90% of what I bought since I moved to the UK has to be Cézanne. So I have lots of shirts from them. Almost all the shirts that I've been wearing on all my videos are from Cézanne. The reason why I like the brand is that I think that they have pieces that are not super trendy, but at the same time, I don't feel super dated wearing them. So it's a very fine balance of having something that is quirky enough that you want to wear it, but at the same time that you don't feel like maybe it won't last too long or whatever. I would say the only shirts that I don't wear as much as I thought would be this one. This is my least worn shirt from Cézanne. And there is also a green version of that, but other than that, I wear every single item that I have from Cézanne all the time. I have all my dresses, almost all of my dresses are from Cézanne. I get the short ones, so definitely a brand that I love. Olivia von Hall. Olivia von Hall, when it comes to I'm trying to see what I want to show you from Olivia von Hall. It's my pajamas. You guys know I love my pajamas. So if I just get pants like these, again, this is something where a few years ago I would have never paid the prices for these. Granted, I got them deeply discounted, but I absolutely love this, and the moment I started wearing these, I just can't get myself to wear something else. The good part of it, I guess, is that I don't feel the need to buy anything else when it comes to pajamas, and I feel that it's the same thing also for my clothes and things like that. Because I have found things that work for me, I wear them so much, so much, that I just don't have a void, and that is something I definitely try to have with my wardrobe and with everything that I have. I really want to be able to have something that I can wear for any occasion. and part of it is really being comfortable with what I have. So that's pajamas covered. When it comes to recently I started using my little Muji diffuser. So this is an essential oil diffuser. I've had it for quite some time, but as I said in a previous video, I had to work at the office for a couple of weeks, and my colleague has asthma, so I decided to take a couple of my essential oils and use the diffuser. Before that, I didn't really use it quite like all the time, but it has been really something that I enjoyed. After having the 2 weeks using that at the office, I just started using it again at home, and I'm enjoying again using my little essential oils. Something I have been loving recently is my foam roller from Lululemon. Lululemon as a brand is also one of my favorites, and it's also one of those brands where I definitely made a leap because before that, when I was in Morocco and Belgium, I guess the maximum that I would go to would be Nike or Adidas. These were the two brands that I would go to. Or if I had the opportunity to travel abroad, I would stock up on Under Armour. There was a period of time where I was just obsessed with anything Under Armour, and I had maybe a dozen tank tops from them. Every time I would go and buy the same thing, which is something I tend to do quite a lot. Once I find something that works, I just stick to it. But a couple of years ago, I discovered Lululemon. It is extremely expensive, and I was thinking, who in their right mind would buy this? Until I became a Lulu head myself, and I will no longer judge people because I became one of them. I became one of those people who have multiple Lululemon pants and Lululemon things. And I don't regret it, actually. I really like it. I like the events that they organize. I like the feeling of a community. Yes, it is extremely overpriced, but I can afford it, and it makes me look good. I think that's part of the appeal, is that I actually genuinely feel good whenever I wear these things. I like feel like the way they compress my legs, the way they shape my body is just perfect for me. And then they have one line that is the Align pants. These I don't necessarily wear for working out. It's actually what I'm wearing right now, and that's perfect for travel, for lounging, for going to do the groceries, everything. I just wear them. They feel like a second skin. So again, something where I went definitely up a notch, but I don't regret it. Back to my foam roller. I bought this a few months ago because I thought, you know, I'm going to be working out and I'm going to be foam rolling and everything. I have a problem in that I am very prone to injuries, and I have very tight hips and hamstrings, and I also have, and this is something I've mentioned in many videos, I have a lot of issues with my legs. It's just the kinetics of my legs, the way, how mechanically they work. I've always had a lot of issues, and it's extremely painful. I would have bouts where like my knees would be swollen and things like that. So I just have to be careful with a lot of things that I do, and I'm continuously trying to fix my condition. Although I bought the foam roller, I wasn't using it because I think at the time when I bought it, I was already in so much pain that when you have injury, I think it's just not right to foam roll, and so it was extremely painful and I just couldn't get past it. But recently in lockdown, as I started doing a lot more stretches, and I did film a video about that, like I featured it in one of my vlogs. I also featured the fact that I was doing some online classes with parkour and things like that. I felt that I am less, like I don't think I have any injury left, and so it is bearable for me to foam roll, and it's no longer one of those pain-inducing activities, and so I have been enjoying it. I have been foam rolling essentially every day and loving it. Matter of fact, loving it so much that I just bought this little massage ball. I just arrived today actually, and it's because, as I said, as I started doing parkour, I ended up having a problem with my hamstrings. Let me just close the windows because I think it's very noisy outside. Yes. Let me close this one. Alright, that's much better. I had an extreme pain at the base of my hamstrings, like at the top of my hamstring. That's where your glutes meet your thighs. Like very sharp pain. And it's been going on for a couple of weeks now. And I talked to somebody and they said you need to do a fascial release. And I tried to do it with a foam roller, and it didn't really work. And then she showed me, she said, you know, you need to get a firm ball and you need to do it in a specific way. And so that's what I did right now. I just bought the ball and I'm going to do a massage as we go. What else? I talked earlier about the extremely sweet scents from Bath & Body Works. And as I said, I have switched to more natural waxes, more natural scents, nothing that feels sickly. One of my favorite brands actually is Parks of London. They burn like a dream. They burn just like a dream, and I feel that they always smell natural. This is a wood. It's made in England, and I just love it. I love it. I have like so many of these Parks London. I think that the price is right whenever you have them on sale, and to be honest, I've never ever paid full price for them. Because I think these are the things that it doesn't matter whether I paid full price or not, the product is still the same. So I usually wait until they have an interesting sale and then I stock up on these. Do I have anything I want to show you as a favorite in my kitchen? Oh, yeah, I forgot this. So I have my bkhor. One of my things that I actually recently realized I enjoy is actually using like old school stuff. So if I show you here, this is my little, I use incense. I love this incense. This is frankincense and myrrh. I really like that. But today I'm going to use this. It's from Abd Samad al-Qurashi. And so that's what I'm going to use today. And again, this is a thing where, oh my god. This is a thing where I wouldn't necessarily have used that quite a long time ago. Like when I was in Morocco, I wouldn't use it a lot. But since moving to the UK, it just became one of my favorite things to do. I remember using it. I think I forgot who gave me some bkhor, and then I just remembered how much I liked it. So just put it over this and then close, and then I let it diffuse. It really is nice. It just puts the right scent in the entire home, especially that I had sardines, grilled sardines earlier, so that's nice. Yeah, good. That's definitely something I enjoy. In my kitchen, one of my favorite things recently has been getting teas, and I've been getting them in bulk, so like this from Fortnum & Mason, and I think that getting them like that is less expensive, and I already have a lot of boxes. But again, before I used to use a lot of sachets like this one. But I noticed recently that I have stopped using sachets. I would every now and then get something just because I had to go to the office or I was traveling or something like that. And then whatever is left from the box comes with me home. But this thing that typically holds all of my tea bags is now almost never full. So I have been drinking exclusively loose tea and I have been enjoying it. And I've been using actually one of the... I have a little strainer that I've had from Belgium, but only recently started using quite a lot. I'm gonna put this in my living room because I had sardines earlier, so I want to just leave that here. So that's my kitchen. Perfume, I said earlier, I don't like sweet stuff. This is Tom Ford Private Blend. I bought it actually on a trip to Portugal. I had traveled to Sintra. And back in the airport, I just bought the massive bottle because I loved it from the first sniff. This is just the refill pack of it. And actually, I'm going to refill it. So I'm going to just take it to my bathroom and then I get the perfume in there. when I'm in my bathroom, my mask is soaking. I clean it as much as possible, so it's just soaking in Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. So I just put it in there. I have been loving Esop. It's a brand that I have discovered also, I would say, a year ago, and I've been loving it, especially their In Two Minds line. It's something that I really like, so it's definitely a favorite. I always have backups of this. I also have backups of their stuff in here, like their room spray. This is the Citera room spray. I absolutely love it. The post-poo drops, this one is almost gone, that's why I have a backup already ready to go. And it's one of those things where you would think it's almost like a gag that you're having something like that, but the post-poo drops work. I'm on my third bottle, I guess, since I moved to this apartment. I also got my sister on it, so she also has it. Now, my perfumes are up there, and you will see definitely a theme in what I like. So a lot of them are actually spicy. You have the whole black line from Jo Malone. These small ones are actually called Cologne Intense because they are much more concentrated, and they use a lot of Arabian fragrances. You also have something from Samar al-Qurashi. This is a guy's perfume. The Tom Ford things in the background are also guys' perfumes, and the Hermes one is also a guy's one. The Abercrombie one is a guy's one. So you will notice in my fragrances I always go for men's scents. It's just something that I like. Nothing else to report here. Oh, recently I have been loving this LMS shower gel. I had this as a gift with purchase, and I had saved it, but recently we had that heat wave, and I needed to shower twice a day just because it was so hot and sticky, so it was just needed. But then I didn't feel like applying any body moisturizer because I would be just so hot, and so this was a very good compromise because it's a shower cream, and whenever I put it on I don't necessarily feel that I need to moisturize afterwards, especially that I'm so hot. Like just now standing in my bathroom I already feel like already starting to be super shiny, and that's because it's so hot. So let's leave that. What else do I have? Oh, in terms of stuff. Okay, so I just had stuff from the wash. Like these are I like to have a clean pair of socks that I would actually put immediately in my sneakers. These are sneakers that I got from Churches. I got them to replace my Gucci, but honestly, my Gucci sneakers are the best thing that has ever happened to me. I wore these. Every time I wear these, I mean, they're a lot more discreet, but they're nowhere near as comfortable as the Gucci are. The Gucci feel like butter. So hopefully, next I might try the Louis Vuitton one, because I remember once I saw a blogger who said that the Louis Vuitton ones are even softer than the Gucci ones, and I cannot believe that exists. But at the same time, I want to wait a few more years, so I'm making do with these, but they're heavier, they're not as soft, they gave me a few blisters. So the Gucci ones, although they're overpriced and everybody in Chelsea and Belgravia has them, are actually worth the price. I never thought I would be saying that, but it's true. Then I have some sandals. These are the booties that I was wearing today because it was raining and I went for a walk with my sister. They're very, very good quality. Again, I have been in love with British made shoes and Italian made shoes for forever, but it's been a while since I started buying these, and I really like them. They are by a brand called Joseph Chini. My friend told me about it. The only problem is because of my little wonky leg. This leg actually moves a weird way. The way it moves in this shoe gave me a blister. So although I walked today in these, they gave me a blister. I also have blisters on the smaller toes, but these are from the Churches. And again, as I said, something that would never ever happen with the Gucci ones. These are my Riker shoes. They used to be some of my favorite shoes, and I just, with time, I find that I really don't want to wear them anymore. They make a sound when I move in them. The back of them is quite worn out, and the sole doesn't, yeah, is no more as good as it used to be. I wore them a few times just because I'm trying to make up my mind, since I bought these a few months ago, and these are obviously much better made. And because the sole is a day-night sole, actually this is like a Goodyear Welton, so I can replace the heel that you see here. I can replace either the heel block or the entire sole as many times as I want, and I can keep these for 10-15 years if I want to. Whereas with these ones, because this is plastic, you can't really do much about it. So I'm going to get rid of these, and also their brown equivalent. But I've had them for years and they've had a good run. So I've had them for like 4 or 5 years, so that's good. Recently I started getting these Mendel shoes out. I had bought them in Belgium once when I was going to visit a cave, of all places. But I didn't do much outdoors since then. And recently I just started going on walks, and I realized that these are very light, much lighter even than these. Who would have thought? And they're extremely comfortable. So that encouraged me to go a little bit outdoors and go to parks, because I needed at some point to start going out given lockdown. Again, here my boots. Some of my favorite thing has been to just buy British boots, or like British wellies, type of wellies. This is a French brand called Le Chameau, but these are very hardcore wellies. These are a bit more fashionable, but a lot of people wear them. It's Dubarry, it's an Irish brand, and this is Purdy. It's a very nice brand that I really like, that I discovered a few years ago, and I used to buy it, and then stopped for a while, and then now that I'm in the UK, I'm buying it again. And what else would I have as a favorite? My RayBan. I have gotten a lot of nice comments on these. These are RayBans that I made when I was in Brussels, right before I was about to leave the country. They have a very nice message for me on the case and on the arms of the eyeglasses. They also say "Uga Uga" on both sides. I have a bit of the, yeah, this has gone to my throat, but it's fine. I'm gonna put it a little bit in my room, because as I said, my room stinks because of the duvet, so I really hope this is gonna help a little bit. I'm just gonna place it here in the middle. Yeah, right there. What else? So yeah, this is I guess how my favorites have evolved. Like, I walked you through the house, and now my favorites are no longer just something that is a specific makeup or a specific brand that was endorsed by some blogger. I feel I'm a lot less impressed by people's opinion. I feel that I rush a lot less to buy things. My purchases are very considerate, and so I do take a lot longer to buy things. Before, I was very punctuated by my trips, so whenever I would have a chance to travel, I would buy a ton of things. Now I am in places where I can get access to a lot of things, and even if something is not launched here in the UK or is not readily available, I just think about it enough, and then if 3, 4, 5, 6 months later I'm still thinking about it, I get it and I don't regret it. Otherwise, no, I don't really have any regrets. So definitely my taste has gone up, but I feel that I finish things, and that's something that I really like. I like the fact of wearing shoes until they have no sole, or wearing dresses until they have holes in them, of using makeup until I finish it and then have to buy backups of it. So very happy with that. Very happy to have veered from the overly sweet pink and all the stuff that was being pushed by all the bloggers I used to follow 10 years ago. But I think it was just a sort of coming of age kind of thing, because I just needed to have a bit more choice. I needed to experiment by myself, and now I'm very comfortable with my selection of things, be it in clothing, be it in makeup, be it in fragrance. I feel that it's quite cohesive, and I'm able to find Uga in the curated set of things that I have around me. So I'm taking better care of these things. I'm still calling a few things every now and then because I had taken quite a few things with me as I traveled the different countries, but I'm happy with where I am right now. I'm happy with how my collection of everything is evolving, and I cannot wait for the next few years to see how my tastes evolve a bit more. So that was what I have been loving, how my favorites have evolved over time. I hope you enjoyed the little tour through my little different nooks in my apartment, and if you have any questions or if you have suggestions for other videos like Willow did, definitely leave them in the comments. I read every single one of them. Take care.